Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, and of course, for the past couple of days and for at least the next week, Winter Olympic ice hockey in the men's division. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The final day of the preliminary rounds, a bit of a tongue twister. The final day of the preliminary rounds in the men's division for Olympic Ice Hockey 2026 is upon us. Yesterday, we were here live on the channel covering Team USA's 6-3 victory over Denmark. Today, game 2 of a back-to-back. They are taking on a much more difficult opponent in Germany here today. It sets up to make an exciting game. Other games that have went down today in Olympic ice hockey for the men: Switzerland and Czechia. They kicked off the day at 6 a.m. this morning, Eastern Standard Time in the United States. An electric game as Switzerland, they take the victory in overtime 4-3. Dean Kukan, the former Columbus Blue Jacket, he gets the game winner. That gives Switzerland the second place spot behind Canada in Group A. Also, they cannot finish any lower than the number 6 seed when we get to the quarterfinals round. Also, with that win, Switzerland over Czechia, Canada, before they even played today, they clinched the quarterfinal buy-in spot for Group A. They win Group A. They will not need to play into the quarterfinals, just as everybody expected. For guest craps and giggles out there, Canada did play France at 10:30 this morning, and it went just about as well as you would expect. A absolute juggernaut in Canada taking on what I would presume to be the second worst team in the division, in the hockey tournament, behind Italy, that being France. A 10-2 win for Canada over the French. Sidney Crosby, he made a headline and history in that game. Sid the Kid, of course, we love him and cover him dearly here on the Steel City Sports Report. He getting a 3-point performance in that game against France, 1 goal and 2 assists for Captain Sid. That gives him now 15 points, the most points at the Olympics by a Canadian with NHL players. So Sid setting a record. He overtakes Jerome Ginla's record of 14 points to have the most career points with Team Canada at Olympic Games involving NHL players. Congratulations to Sid. Absolutely a joy for him, for all of us, I should say, to watch him in these Olympic Games. Unfortunately, hopefully it does not. Well, let me rephrase this here. I do hope that it comes down to USA versus Team Canada in the finals for the gold medal, but certainly will not be rooting for Sid then, even though we love him here in the black and gold. The only other game going on currently right this second, you have Latvia and Denmark. That game started at 1 o'clock, and the third period of that contest just started a few moments ago. Denmark currently up 3-2 over Latvia. The U.S. beating both of those teams. They beat Denmark yesterday, that we already said, 6-3. They beat Latvia back on Thursday, 5-1, even though it could have been 6-1, depending on how some referees viewed some things. And that brings us to today, the U.S. versus Germany. We do have a lineup change for the U.S. to talk about. They ran back the same lineup that they had on Thursday yesterday. The only change they made was putting Jeremy Swayman in net. Now, today, we have 2 new changes to the lineup. Out comes Kyle Connor, forward for the Winnipeg Jets. In goes Clayton Keller, forward for the Utah Mammoth. Also, Jeremy Swayman, after 1 game of action, he is a healthy scratch for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger will be the 2 goaltenders today for Team USA. Hellebuck gets the start. The lines, as they shake out for Team USA, no changes to 3 of the 4 lines. Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Matthew Tkachuk, that remains the top line for the U.S. Gensel, Matthews, Boldy, the second line. Clayton Keller, he fills in for Kyle Connor on the left wing of the third line. Dylan Larkin, the center. Tage Thompson on the right wing. And then JT Miller, Brock Nelson, Jack Hughes, the fourth line. I was wondering, seeing how well Jack Hughes has performed in these first 2 games for Team USA, if he would have moved up the lineup at all or not. He stays put with Nelson and Miller for the time being. Vincent Trocheck, the extra 13th forward, dressed again here today. On defense, no changes there. Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, again a pairing. Jacob Slavin with Brock Faber, Zach Werenski, and Jake Sanderson. Noah Hannafin, the seventh D-man. Jackson Lacombe, for all 3 games of the preliminary round, will be a healthy scratch. Hellebuck and Ottinger, the 2 goaltenders. I want to see USA today, to be quite honest, take it to the Germans early. Germany, they probably will be the toughest team that the U.S. faces in this preliminary round, but I want to see this USA team get back to what got them success in the Four Nations face-off and what got them success in the first game they played this tournament against Latvia. Yesterday against Denmark, a bit sluggish, I would say, the performance from the team overall. It felt like the only guy that truly showed up was Brady Tkachuk, being absolute menace out there on the forecheck, getting the U.S. tons of offensive zone time. I want to see everyone in there dump and chase, be hard on the forecheck for the U.S., establish offensive zone dominance early and often, put Germany back on their heels as opposed to Denmark putting the U.S. back on their heels a little bit yesterday. The U.S. today also still a slight chance that they would be able to overtake Canada for the number 1 seed in this men's tournament. Canada today with their 10-2 victory over France. They now finish with 3 wins, 9 points, and a plus 17 goal differential in their favor. The U.S., they come into this game with a plus 7 goal differential. That means they would need to absolutely boat race Germany and win by at least 10 or more to overtake Canada for the number 1 seed. It's not impossible, but it is going to be very, very challenging for the U.S. This German team, like I said, their best opponent they will face in this prelim round. The first 2 teams, Latvia, Denmark, not too much NHL talent on those teams. I want to say the best player overall for Latvia, aside from their goaltender Elvis Merzlikins, might have been Zemgus Girgensons. For Denmark, the Danes yesterday, you're probably looking at Nikolai Ehlers or Oliver Bjorkstrand as their best players. Today, Germany, much different. You have a legitimate top 5 player in the world right now, Leon Draisaitl. He centers the first line for Germany. He is in between Josh Szymanski, number 44, and Frederick Tiffels, number 95. Below Draisaitl, some more NHL talent. Tim Stützle, number 1 center, former 3rd overall pick by the Ottawa Senators. He centers their second line with J.J. Peterka of the Utah Mammoth. He'll see his teammate Clayton Keller today, and Wojciech Stachowiak as well. He is the second line right wing. Lucas Reichel, Mark Michaelis, and Dominic Cahoon. That is the third line to, I think, a former NHLer in Cahoon and a current NHLer, Lucas Reichel. Tobias Reeder, Nico Sturm, and Alexander L., their fourth line. Defense pairings. You got Fabio Wagner with the top young D-man for the Detroit Red Wings, that being Moritz Seider. He is that pairing is then followed by Jonas Mueller and Kai Wisman, Lucas Kalbel and Leon Gawanke, and then another Moritz Mueller, I assume Jonas and Moritz brothers there. The goaltender today for Germany, was expecting it to give Germany a much better chance to win. I was expecting it to be former NHL goaltender. I might have been a still current NHL goaltender with the Seattle Kraken, that being Philip Grubauer. It was either going to be him or Matthias Niederberger, I thought, but then Germany going with their third goaltender that they brought. It will be Maximilian Franzreb. So that's going to be a bit of a tongue twister of a name for me to say here today, but we will try our best. So excited to get this one going. The face-off about to come up here in a moment. 4 of you in here already. I expect that number to go up throughout the stream here today. On your way in, please hit that like button, share this live stream so we can grow the viewership on the channel here, and in the comment section, any thoughts, questions, opinions, reactions that you have to the game here today, please get those in the comment section. Shout out to Freight Train. He is our first commenter of the afternoon. That will turn into an evening here on the channel. Appreciate you, Freight Train. Welcome. And just like he said here, hit the like and subscribe. So here we go. Team USA versus Team Germany. About to drop the puck here in a moment. They get a look at Maximilian Franzreb, the goaltender for Germany, 29 years old. Not sure who I see as their backup right there. It looks like Philip Grubauer will be the backup for Germany here today. There's a look at Leon Draisaitl. He going to take this opening face-off against Jack Eichel, two of the best centermen in hockey today, both bona fide top 10 centers in the National Hockey League. Draisaitl, of course, the number 2 center behind Connor McDavid with the Edmonton Oilers. Jack Eichel, the number 1 center for the Vegas Golden Knights. Here we go. The two centers lead in for this opening face-off. The last game of the preliminary round in the 2026 men's hockey Olympic tournament is underway. Puck is immediately dumped in off the start by Germany. In the corner with, it looks like a centering pass there from Szymanski was knocked back into the corner. Team USA now takes possession. Quinn Hughes, top defenseman for this U.S. team. He'll try to flick it into the German zone, but it's brought back by Germany. There's a heavy hit. Matthew Tkachuk puts Szymanski on the ice, and he'll head off for a change, it looks like. Jack Eichel, he'll send it back to his D-man Hughes and do the same. Second line coming on here for the U.S. It's the Matthews line. Pass up the ice here for Brock Faber. It was tipped in by Boldy. Back to get it and taking a heavy hit is defenseman for the Germans, Kai Weissman. Dumped back down deep, kept in the zone by the U.S. Jake Gensel pinned against the boards there. Now Austin Matthews doing the same. Boldy knocks it behind the net. Franzreb behind his net will play it up the boards. Gensel looking to get it back to his D-man Slavin. Couldn't get it there. You had a German there. It's in front here. Here's a shot by Boldy. Pad save made by Franzreb. Bit of a scramble up there near the blue line to keep the puck in. And Boldy was left unattended down in front of the crease. Now you got Tim Stützle here. Pass over. Line change here for the Germans. Up ice they come. Dumped in. Hellebuck trying to stop it. It goes all the way around to Sanderson. Now Werenski plays it up here to Tage Thompson. He's had a solid start to these Olympics. To Dylan Larkin. Now Sanderson. He leads the rush up ice. Puts on the brakes just inside the blue line. Sends it behind the net. There's Thompson. Thompson back up to Sanderson. Sanderson, his shot towards the net deflected on the drive-by Thompson. Not sure if it hit the side of the net or if it was stopped. Back in comes the Germans. Cahoon, his centering pass, looking for a teammate. Might have been number 65 there. Michaelis goes by him. Now the U.S. taking possession again in their own zone. Put behind the net by Sanderson to his D partner, Werenski. He waits for his teammates to get a change. Pass out to center here. It's Jack Hughes, arguably the best player on this U.S. team to start the Olympics. So up to him or one of the Tkachuk brothers, I would say, to start. A dump in again here by the Germans. Behind the net, Tobias Reeder, longtime Arizona Coyote. Up high to Moritz Seider. Back to Reeder. Reeder high slot. His shot blocked off there by Charlie McAvoy. Taken by Hughes. And here comes the U.S. Brock Nelson. Pass for Jack Hughes. Was back checked there by the Germans. This will be shot down the ice here by Germany. And it is going to be an icing. That puck was really starting to slow up there at the end. But instead, it's going to be an icing. Went just wide of the net as well. Look again at the Matt Boldy chance. Austin Matthews, Jake Gensel fighting with a couple of Germans to keep the puck in. And Matt Boldy sneaking behind the D. A little backhand, forehand, trying to put that one in on Franzreb, but unable to get it by the netminder. The Eichel line comes back on the ice here, taking the face-off to the left of the goal. Nico Sturm, current, I believe, Minnesota Wild, he wins it. Or it might be, he might be with the San Jose Sharks. Shot from the point here from Charlie McAvoy. It's going to be snared by Franzreb, and we'll have another face-off coming up here. Here's a look at the preliminary round standings again. The top top guys for each group here, top teams for each group, pretty much locking up their byes past the quarterfinals. Slovakia yesterday locking up Group B. Canada today with the Switzerland win over Czechia, winning Group A. The U.S. with a win here. I think some other result other than a massive regulation loss to Germany, they will win Group C. McAvoy behind his own net. Brady Tkachuk stepping down to help him. They're trying to get out of the zone. Draisaitl gets it to his D-man, but it's going to be offsides here. Weissman couldn't keep it in the zone. Look here at the highlights today. Now, NBC's popping up of Canada versus all of their opponents. Denmark, France today. Macklin Celebrini, 19-year-old, the kid of the Canadian team. What an Olympics, first Olympics he is having. An absolute star in the making there for the San Jose Sharks. Face off just outside the U.S. zone, won by Germany and dumped back in. Back to play here, Brock Faber sends it back to Noah Hannafin, the seventh D-man for Team USA. Faber up the boards here, trying to be tipped in by Brady Tkachuk. And then Matthew, his brother, helps it in deeper. Now Matthew on the forecheck. A centering pass there, looking for Brady. Does not connect. Brought back out here by, I believe, Tiffel. Centering pass hole. Looks like Leon Draisaitl got by Brock Faber. He catches that pass cleanly. He's got a shot on Connor Hellebuck, point blank. Dumped in here by the U.S. Looks like that was Hannafin with the dump in. Stopping it behind his own net is Franz Reben, waiting for his troops to change. It's Weissman for Germany. Pass up the ice here for the Germans. Does not connect. Picked off by the U.S. Orensky chops it out to center. Past Stutzel. Austin Matthews. He hits the deck here. Puck in his skates. Battling for it there. Now Jake Gensel moving in. Gensel, after some pressure there, dumps it behind the net. Hard forecheck there from Matthews. Gensel looking for a centering pass up high to the D-man Sanderson. Was nearly picked off and taken the other way by Draisaitl. Here comes the Germans back again. In here, looks like Lucas Reichel. Little backhand forehand shot there on Hellebuck. Stopped and frozen by the current Winnipeg Jet goaltender, Vezina winner Hellebuck. Again, a look here at Sidney Crosby. They're now popping up his stats here. 16 points. My apologies earlier. 16 points. Most career Olympic points by a Canadian NHL player in the Olympics. Jerome McGinley, he just in second now, 14 points. Off the face-off here in the American zone, they quickly get it up to Germany territory. Behind the net now, Charlie McAvoy stepping down. He's in a board scrum with Clayton Keller down low. Tage Thompson feeds it back down low to Clayton Keller. Keller, wrap around here. Might have thought about shooting it there. Centering pass for, looks like Dylan Larkin didn't connect. It goes all the way past everyone and back down to the U.S. zone. Quinn Hughes picks it up there. Pestered by number 62 for the Germans. Do not have that number on my screen here. It might be a reserve forward. We'll have to get his name later. Brought up here by Moritz Seider. Shot from outside the blue line on goal, saved by Hellebuck. Cannot take those shots from long range for granted. We saw that yesterday. Jeremy Swayman in net against Denmark. Denmark, I believe it was Nicholas P. Jensen, just shot it in on net from the red line. Swayman totally lost sight of the puck in the color of the boards, and that gave Denmark the 2-1 lead there for a little while. 14:20 left in the first period. Face off to the left of Hellebuck, won by the U.S. Jacob Slavin. His pass to the neutral zone, tipped in by J.T. Miller. Looks like Moritz Mueller back to get it for the Germans. Nice breakout pass. Here comes Nico Sturm up the middle of the ice. Sturm into the zone. Trying to throw it on net. Blocked off the skates of Brock Faber and into the U.S. bench, out of play. Clock stops with exactly 14 minutes left to go in the first. It's like you have the shots even right now at 3 apiece. Back here to the comments section. 5 of you in here right now. Welcome into the live stream concepts. What is going on? Another longtime viewer and contributor and subscriber here on the channel. Appreciate you, Concepts and Freight Train, both of you guys stopping by here on a Sunday. Be back to normal business coming up tomorrow night. Some news from the weekend of Pittsburgh sports. That'll be coming up tomorrow evening. Hard hit there. Wisman on Jack Eichel as Eichel trying to get the puck deep into Germany territory. Puck is loose behind the net. Brady Tkachuk there beside the net, hacking away at it. Can't find a hole. Down low, Leon Draisaitl stripped of the puck by Brady Tkachuk. Up the boards. Frederick Tiffels trying to get it past Jacob Slavin. Now Draisaitl just throws it to open ice. There's his D partner, or his teammate Wisman, who gets it up now. Pass there to Szymanski. He's offsides as he just enters the U.S. zone. Was hit there by the duo of Faber and Brady Tkachuk. Didn't seem to like that all that much. Saw our first fight action of this Olympic tournament in the Canada-France game just a little bit earlier. It was, I believe, last name Surson or Rincon, something like that, for France, taking on Tom Wilson, consummate tough guy for the Washington Capitals. Both of those gentlemen getting 5-minute penalties and game misconducts. No other further disciplinary action will be taken against them. Brady Tkachuk, I'm sure no shy of, if the game's decided and then someone does something stupid late in the game, he'll drop them. Hey, we're just talking about there on NBC, showing many of these Team USA players, pictures of them with the late, great Johnny Gaudreau, tragically passing away about 2 years ago. Gaudreau certainly would have been on Team USA's roster for not only these Olympics, but the Four Nations face-off last year. Absolutely tragic. He and his brother being killed the way they were. Still, the U.S. honoring Gaudreau's legacy. A jersey for Johnny Gaudreau again being hung in a locker stall in Team USA's locker room. He's with this team in spirit, I am sure. Back to the action here after that little break. Face-off is going to be just outside the U.S. zone. The U.S. sending out the Matthews line here against the Stützle line for Germany. Won by the U.S., but taken by, I believe that was J.J. Peterka. His shot went wide of the net. Down low now. Noah Hannafin trying to get it up the boards. Gensel chipping it along for Matthews, but just out of reach after Stützle played it back to his D-man, Kalbel. Dump in here by the Germans. Back to stop it is Hellebuck. Picked up by Werenski. Up the boards. Bank pass out to center. Matt Boldy. He gets hooked a little bit by Kalbel. No penalty call. The U.S. bench infuriated, and now they're going to get it. There it is. So they did get the penalty after all. Took them a second to pop up the delayed penalty graphic. It is going to be, I believe, Lucas Kalbel of Germany, third pairing defenseman. He is going to the box. 2 minutes for a hook here on Matt Boldy. And this U.S. power play haven't been as overpowering, I would say, as Canada's power play, but they are still a formidable group here for the U.S. Their top unit, Quinn Hughes, Jack Eichel, Matthew Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, and Tage Thompson. Puck was immediately cleared by Germany. Matthew Tkachuk playing it back to Jack Eichel, who brings it up the ice. Eichel to Tkachuk over the line. Tkachuk looking back to his D-man, Quinn Hughes, and it's cleared the length of the ice. Hellebuck back to stop it again. Germany's waiting for that drop pass that the U.S. tends to do just inside the blue line. There it is again. Tage Thompson trying to poke it deeper, and again, Germany clears. Might want to try something new here. That is something we've seen quite a lot from Mike Sullivan coached power plays. Not sure how involved he is on them, but these constant pass dropping. And oh my God, a collision in the U.S. zone between Jack Hughes, and it turns into a near shot on goal. What the hell happened? It's like Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews collided back in the U.S. zone, and that nearly led to a scoring chance for Germany. Hughes on the ice now. I believe he came on for Tage Thompson. Pass over. Matt Bodie, a shot. And that was either saved or went wide of the net. You have half of the second unit out there and half of the first unit out there. Puck cleared again by Germany here. Someone's stick went flying up into the air back in the offensive zone. 30 seconds left on the power play. Here comes Hughes. Hughes to Bodie. Picked off by Draisaitl, but kept in here again by the U.S. Brady Tkachuk down low. Bodie up high. Now Werenski to Jake Gensel. Over. Here's Jack Hughes. Pass to the front of the net. Save made by Franzen Ren. Up high. Gensel over. Jack Hughes a shot. Blocked away there by Moritz Seider. In front. Gensel again a shot. Save made by Franz Reb. Taken away here by Germany. Their penalty has expired, and with speed, here comes Moritz Seider to Leon Draisaitl, but he is offside. Stützle, Seider, and Draisaitl coming the other way in a hurry for Germany, a little bit too quick. It's offsides. U.S. getting a break there. Back here again, it was Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews who collided in the defensive zone. Hughes coming off the bench on a change for Tage Thompson, and Matthews looks like he was heading to the bench for a change. And thank goodness that there's no Germans in the area. That could have been disastrous. Face off just outside the U.S. zone, won by Brock Nelson. Trying to get it out to center. It's Jake Sanderson. Pass here to JT Miller looking for Vincent Trocheck. They couldn't go tape to tape. Here's Jake Sanderson. Sanderson puts on the brakes just inside the blue line. Tries to dump it deeper. Now it goes down low to Trocheck. Brock Nelson. Puck skips over his stick. Centering pass from JT Miller. Looking for a one-timer was Nelson. It went off of the goaltender's stick. Charlie McAvoy to Sanderson. Up ice. Tipped in by Trocheck. Seider. Behind his own net. Wheels it up the boards. McAvoy stepping down in. He couldn't keep it in the zone. It's knocked back down to U.S. ice. Race after it. Slavin will beat Peterka there. Over the boards here. Centering pass attempt from, I believe that might have been Lucas Reichel. Did not reach Peterka. Here comes Jack Eichel again. Brady Tkachuk. Spinning one on goal. Tipped on the way through by Matthew. Save made by Franzen Reb. Here's Lucas Reichel again. Now Dominic Cahoon into the zone. Cahoon puts on the brakes. Faber. Puck went over his stick behind the net. In the corner, Michaelis. Pinning the buck up against the boards. Puck comes loose now. Over to the far side. Eichel chips it past Wisman, and it's going to be off of a tip, so no icing here on the U.S. 9 minutes left to play in the first period. Bodie on the forecheck here. Pass up through center. It's going to be Nico Sturm down deep. Plays it along to Tobias Reeder. Stifled there by Quinn Hughes. Now taken away by the U.S. Jake Gensel with space, bringing it through center. To Bodie. Fighting there with Mueller. Austin Matthews on by. Nearly got a stick on it and a shot on goal. Bodie again near the boards. Up high. McAvoy. Quinn Hughes. Pass in front might have gone off the skate of Jake Gensel, and it was saved by Franz Reb. Might have gone off the post as well. Wisman coming through center. Stripped of the puck by Matthews. Looks like Trocheck trying to poke it to the middle of the ice there for Clayton Keller. Keller couldn't catch up. Out at center now. Larkin in a collision with Szymanski. Dumped into the U.S. zone. McAvoy over to Hughes. He lets it go. All the way up to Clayton Keller. Now Larkin out to center for Trocheck. Not a clean pass here. Taken in here to the U.S. zone by Draisaitl. Back to his D-man. Gawonki. Over to Kalbel. Down low. Tiffles. Lets it go for Draisaitl. Up high. Gawonki again. Trying to get it down low. Draisaitl with some heavy contact with Quinn Hughes. They're almost in a wrestling match. Puck goes past Szymanski behind the net. Trocheck stepping down, trying to find a teammate. Now it's finally backhanded and lifted out to center by Larkin. Everyone can get a change. You got Cobble back behind his own net here. Moritz Seider passes by. Breakout here for the Germans. Looks like this is going to be Tim Stützle entering the zone. Loses the handle for a moment. Looking for Moritz Seider. A late trailer. And it's stripped away by the U.S. Jack Hughes soft dumping. Going after it, JT Miller. Seider playing it up the wall. Looks like that's the JJ Peterka. Now over here, Tim Stützle. Spin cycle out at center. He'll just try to find a teammate here. He's going to send it back to Seider in his own zone. Now here comes Peterka again. Peterka inside out on Noah Hannafin. Down low. Hard hit there. Eichel on Stützle. U.S. possession again. Eichel skates it out of his zone. Gains the red line. Dumps it in. And he'll chase after it. Eichel going after Wisman there. Kept in by Slavin up high. Matthew Tkachuk in front. Backhander stopped by Franz Reben. He lunges forward to dive on the loose puck as well. Looked to be initially a harmless throw on net by Jacob Slavin. But Matthew Tkachuk there finding a rebound, and then Franz Reb able to fall on it and get the stop there. Another good chance and look there for the U.S., but they go to commercial. 5 of you in here right now, over half an hour into this game day USA versus Germany live stream. To the comment section, we go again. Freight Train here. You go over what it would take for the U.S. to go ahead of Canada. Again, I said that at the beginning there, Freight Train. The U.S. would have to win by 10 or more over Germany to overtake Canada for the number 1 seed heading into quarterfinals. But right now, I think you can make a pretty spot-on prediction that the U.S. is going to take the number 2 seed in the tournament, and they will probably end up playing a team like Sweden in the quarterfinals, which who would have thought Sweden would need to play into the quarterfinals here to begin this Olympic tournament. But U.S. probably going to have a much more tougher road to the gold medal game than the Canadians. We shall see. Canada, they're probably going to draw another team like Latvia or Denmark, if I had to guess, when the quarterfinals officially begin. That in here as well. Do believe we need to win this game by 10 or more goals. Indeed. There it is right there. I'm talking about it, but was preoccupied. That's all right, Freight Train. It's all right, catching up on all the comments here. 6 of you in here. We'll see what the U.S. has in store. Would love for them to get this elusive first goal of the hockey game, that's for sure. Got a lot of Boston University alumni here represented on this Olympic team. Tons of Boston ties in general. Mike Sullivan, head coach, a Boston man. Of course, Jack Eichel, Boston University guy. Same thing with the Tkachuk brothers. Tons of BU college hockey representation here for the Americans. Play has resumed. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the first. Back in his own zone, Clayton Keller plays it to Zach Werenski. Now here comes Quinn Hughes up ice. Pass tipped in there to the zone by Dylan Larkin. And on the forecheck, looks like that might have been Tage Thompson. Now in the corner, Larkin plays it to Keller. Keller bringing it out, shooting it, trying to go high short side on Franz Reb. Didn't have room. Now circling back up high, Quinn Hughes. Pass over. Werenski moving in. Werenski back to Hughes. Hughes winds, drives, blocked off there by one of the defensemen, Mueller. Back down low, Wisman there, pinning Larkin up against the boards. Larkin still fighting through contact, but now he loses possession. His teammates were changing. Jake Gensel on the forecheck. Looks like that, not sure if that's Moritz Mueller or not, number 41 for Germany. That is Jonas Mueller. My apologies. 2 Muellers on this blue line here for Germany. Werenski, still the U.S. applying offensive zone pressure. Now Matthews up high. Werenski trying to dangle there at the blue line, but lost the handle. It goes back out to center. Quinn Hughes to Jake Gensel. Gensel moving in. Finds Matt Boldy up high. A one-time shot from 40 feet by Boldy. Save made by Franz Reb. And another whistle for Germany. Some excellent chances there for Team USA. But this goaltender, who not many heard of heading into this game, Franz Reb for Germany, Maximilian Franz Reb, he is standing tall right now against the U.S. Saw something similar actually quite a few times already in these Olympics. These goalies on some of the underdog teams playing well against the upper echelon NHL star-studded rosters. Like earlier today, I believe it was goaltender, forget his name, from France. He actually held in there for quite some time against Canada. Score was much closer than you would expect after the first period of play. So give credit to France right now in terms of points and success. They're probably second worst team in the tournament thus far, in front of Italy. Let's see an update here on the other game that was going on at the start of this game. It's a 4-2 Denmark lead over Latvia with 1:08 left to go in the third period. Looks like Denmark 34 shots on goal. I think Arturs Shilovs was getting the start in that game, his second start of the tournament of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Looks like he is going to make 30 saves on 34 shots. Nothing, nothing to be ashamed of there if you're Arturs Shilovs. Doesn't have much playing in front of him. Hopefully he comes back to the Pittsburgh Penguins here in a week and a half and continues his excellent start to the season for the Pens. 9 of you in here right now. Welcome into this live reaction and commentary live stream of Team USA Hockey. Third game we're covering here on the channel. We covered the US's first 2 wins of the tournament, looking for the third win here against Germany. Face-off was back in the German zone, but went back down to US territory there for a minute. Now taken by the Germans again out at center. Szymanski with it over the blue line. Looked to find Leon Draisaitl enter the zone, but the pass was wide. Moritz Seider takes possession again here for the Germans. Frederick Tiffels over the blue line. Shot from the point here for Seider. Went wide to the left of Connor Hellebuck. Charlie McAvoy. He'll go redlining in as the U.S. gets a change here. 4:15 left to go in the first period. Shots are 13-3 in favor of the U.S. Germany has not seen a shot on goal for probably thinking at least 10 minutes at this point. What the hell is that? Moritz Seider comes out from behind his own net. Jack Hughes, with nobody around him, lost his stick. Now here's a attempted shot on goal from, I believe, Moritz Mueller went wide. Tim Stützle, Ottawa Senator, will dump it back behind the net. There's Lucas Reichel trying to play it along. Jack Hughes with it now to Brock Faber. Faber pestered there by Reichel. Now J.J. Peterka, stolen by the Germans. Reichel to Peterka. Peterka up high. Reichel near the blue line. To Cobble. Back to Reichel with space. Peterka on the half wall. Pass into the front. He had a man back door. Might have been Michaelis, but it went through his skates. Peterka down low again. Dangles J.T. Miller. Up high. Moritz Mueller again. Pass over here. Cobble a shot. Glove save made by Hellebuck. Couldn't squeeze it. Rebound kept in now at the blue line by Mueller. Up high again. Mueller a shot. Glove save, and this time he catches it by Connor Hellebuck. Their first flurry in a while was a doozy there for Germany. They're able to get some offensive pressure on Team USA. Score remains 0-0 here as we are just over 3 minutes left to go here in the first period. That was an excellent shot by Lucas Cobble. Nearly got underneath the glove of Connor Hellebuck, but he was able to squeeze his arm down on top of his pad just enough. Look again at that shot from the point from Moritz Mueller. Bit of a skipper on Connor Hellebuck, but he made the save. Action resumes here. Down low. Michaelis behind the net, that is Tiffels behind the net, trying to play it to Leon Draisaitl. Puck stolen here by Charlie McAvoy. Up the boards, Clayton Keller. Behind the back breakout pass here, still in Larkin. He'll chip it into the German zone, but not all that deep. Wisman up to Jonas Mueller. Now Szymanski across the ice. Moving in is number 62 for Germany. Again, do not think I have a name for that guy. He's been anonymous right now. Save made, a shot by Moritz Seider. Save by Hellebuck, popped up into the air. A centering pass from Leon Draisaitl picked off by the U.S. Dylan Larkin tried to skate it to German ice, but now here comes Draisaitl again. Up high, bomb away from Moritz Seider right into the breadbasket of Hellebuck. He makes the stop. 2:07 left to go in the first period. All of a sudden, shots were 13-3 in favor of the U.S. In the last minute and a half, Germany putting 4 shots on goal against Connor Hellebuck. Tilting of the ice here in the later stages of the first. Hellebuck again, excellent positioning, pinning that puck up against the U.S. crest on his jersey. Face off to the left of Hellebuck will be between Dominic Cahoon and Matthews. Matthews wins it clean. Werenski bank breakout pass here, looking for Matt Boldy. They'll now chip it along to Matthews. Matthews sends it behind the net. Jake Gensel pursuing, kept in at the line on the rip around by Gawonki for Werenski. Down low, Matthews. Matthews up the boards here. Werenski on the backhand over. Knuckle puck slapper there from someone that might have been Jake Sanderson, and now it's cleared the length of the ice. This is going to be icing here on the Germans. 1:31 left to go. That was Noah Hannafin. My apologies, who a moment ago had a big time slap shot there. Not sure if it made it on net or if it was stopped by Franzreb. Let's take a look here. What we got going on, showing a replay a moment ago of the U.S. in a line change. Jack Eichel. Oh my goodness, a big hit by Eichel on Moritz Mueller down low. Puck still in the U.S. zone here. Now Eichel takes the shot right back from Mueller. The Tkachuk brothers going to take note of that one here as we are about to go under a minute here in the first period in a moment. Puck battle still in the corner to the left of the cage. Michaelis is going to send it all the way down the length of the ice again. Another icing by plenty for the Germans. 1:03 left to go. Shots 13-8. Another look at the Group C standings here. That NBC is popping up. Team USA, 2 wins in this tournament. Germany, 1 win, 1 loss. In Group C, as a whole, 0 games have gone to overtime or a shootout to this point. All games decided in regulation. Face off to the right of the cage here. Eichel against Michaelis on the draw. Eichel, with a little bit of help of Matthew Tkachuk, wins it. Quinn Hughes. Shot attempt from Matthew. Doesn't go through. Now over Werenski. Cycling to Eichel. Back for Werenski. Puck is loose. Brady Tkachuk behind the net. 2 Germans around him. To Matthew. Up high. Werenski. Bomb from Eichel. Fan on it. Quinn Hughes now stepping down from the point. Up high to Eichel, who takes his spot. Eichel, a shot on goal. Rebound is wide there. Comes here Eichel. His shot there. And he scores. Do we have a stoppage here? What's going on? They're going to wave it off. No goal. Collision in the crease. It was demolition derby. Matthew Tkachuk, he ends up on the ice without a bucket. Took a mean cross check from behind. Eichel and, I believe, Gawonki, they're face-to-face right now. Look at the U.S. coaches here. John Tortorella, he is absolutely befuddled. What the hell happened there? They're going to say goaltender interference, I think, is going to be the call here. Franzreb, as that shot that went in from Eichel came on, he was on his ass, loses his blocker. You got Tkachuk, shot from the point there. Tkachuk, he is cross-checked by Moritz Mueller. That's how Franzreb went down. And then Mueller, this Moritz Mueller, dude, you're the idiot that pushed Tkachuk on top of your goaltender to begin with. And then you go after Eichel, who's playing, didn't hear a whistle. And then you take exception to that. We'll see here. We got one official over at the scorekeeper area. They're going to put, I think, 2 more seconds back up on the clock. It's going to be 35.2 seconds left to go here in the first. So no goal. The U.S. thought they had the go-ahead goal in this one. Instead, we remain scoreless. Eichel versus Stützle on the draw to the right of the German cage. A lean here again. Or excuse me, it's Austin Matthews against Stützle. Won by Stützle. They tried to get it out, did Germany, but it's kept in for the moment by the U.S. Gensel down low, trying to wheel around behind the net, stolen by Stützle. Again, good keep at the line. Matt Boldy keeping it in. Over here. Boldy, again. Hit against the boards there by Stützle. 15 seconds left. Quinn Hughes stepping down. Here's Matthews. Pass over. Werenski with room. Shot and he scores! Zach Werenski! There it is with 8.7 seconds left. The U.S. will not be denied the first goal of the hockey game. Costly turnovers aplenty by Germany. They had 2 or 3 chances of getting the puck out and alleviating some pressure. They do not. Austin Matthews, a nice soft feed across the offensive zone to a wide open Zach Werenski. He takes it on the forehand, shoots it through the legs of Moritz Seider, and it beats the goaltender Franz Reb on the far side. The 15th shot of the period for the U.S. nets the first goal of the hockey game. Face-off was won there out at the neutral zone. It goes all the way back to the U.S. end of the ice. It'll be held behind the net there by Hanifin just in the nick of time. The United States, off the stick of Zach Werenski, gets the first goal of the hockey game. Great stuff right there. Get punched and counter punch. That is what we saw from the U.S. right there. Looked like Germany was going to go into the intermission with the momentum. The U.S., they get tons of offensive zone pressure, and they would not be denied the first goal of the hockey game. Great stuff right there. Nice sauce indeed. Pass there from Matthews all the way across the offensive zone. Tape to tape with Werenski too. Not much adjustment Werenski needed to make to get that. U.S. passing wasn't necessarily the prettiest in that period, but the best pass of the period from Matthews there came at an opportune time. So good stuff there. The U.S., nice hard-fought period right there. We'll take it. We knew this German team was going to be tough. But the U.S., after a goal gets taken off the board, they finally get the first tally of the hockey game, looking to have a sweep of the preliminary rounds and take home the second seed in the quarterfinals. We'll be back here in a little bit. 6 of you in here right now. We'll take a little bit of a break for the first intermission of the hockey game. On your way in, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you do not miss a thing here on the Steel City Sports Report. Again, also, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll be back after the first intermission, right before the second period gets underway. Stay where you are, back here after the first intermission. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Period number 2 in the final game of the preliminary rounds in men's Olympic ice hockey about to get underway between the United States and Germany. 1-0, the U.S. after one period of play. A bit of a back and forth affair for the most part. The U.S. early on applied some pressure on Germany, and then Germany, later stages of the first period, they started to get some offensive zone dominance of themselves. But the U.S. scratching, clawing, they were able to find that elusive first goal. It was Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets off of a beautiful feed of Austin Matthews, who got the game's opening goal. And now back to Milan, Italy. The game is coming on again here to my right. I will fix the score bug here, put up period number 2. 5 of you in here on your way in, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you do not miss a thing on the channel here again. Also, would greatly appreciate it if you like, share, and leave a comment. And this one here, greatest comment of them all so far today, Freight Train. What is going on, Freight Train? Yay, USA scores first with a $1.99 contribution. Appreciate you, Freight Train. You've been doing similar contributions like that throughout the football season that just wrapped up a month or so ago, and also some Penguins games as well. Appreciate your contribution. As always, Freight Train, shout out to you, one of the few day oneers that always keeps coming back to the channel here. Period number 2, like I said, beginning here in a moment. What kind of second period will we see from the U.S.? They had ups and downs in the first period. Really, we have yet, aside from maybe the Latvia game, to see them put together a complete period of dominance that they, quite frankly, will need to have if they are going to get anywhere close to competing for the gold medal in these Olympics. So we'll see what happens now. Second period of action is underway. The camera here for NBC a little bit late getting back to the action. Puck drop has already went. We are now approaching 30 seconds into the third period. Back in the U.S. zone, Quinn Hughes chips it up the boards, tried to get it to Matthew Tkachuk, but taken by Leon Draisaitl. He throws it towards the slot, looking for one of his teammates, Frederick Tiffels, or Josh Szymanski, missed both of them. Now back into the Germany zone here. Between the legs feed to the slot from Brady Tkachuk. Could not be hit at all there by Jack Eichel. JJ Peterka is going to draw a penalty here. Play is stopped for a moment. We have a penalty here, and Jack Eichel is going to the box, and Eichel, he's not going to be happy with this call at all. It's going to be a hooking on Eichel, but I saw it in real time. He put up his hands as he was skating through, and it looked like Peterka was trying to maybe hold on to his stick. I don't know what case Eichel was pleading for right there. It looked like a clear hook to me. 2 minutes in the box he goes. The first power play of the game here for the Germans is now on. Leon Draisaitl, Tim Stützle, Moritz Seider out there. Here's Stützle with the puck. Toe drag, couldn't release the shot there. Rolled off his stick there. Stützle again. His shot blocked there by Brock Faber. Taken down low. Leon Draisaitl up high for Seider. It's out of reach, and it goes back down to the German zone. 1:35 remaining on this power play here early in the second period for Germany. If their power play unit is correct right here, you'll also see JJ Peterka and Josh Szymanski out there with Draisaitl, Seider, and Stützle. Here comes Peterka in. Dropper for Draisaitl looking across the way for someone. It's picked off by Brock Nelson. Here comes the U.S. the other way, short-handed. Nelson, a shot off the shoulder of Franzberg, and it comes back in front, and Dylan Larkin, point blank, robbed with a beauty of a glove save by Franzreb. Wow. What a job right there by the U.S. penalty kill. And they were that close to making it 2-0. Nelson and Larkin, outstanding penalty killers. The Nelson shot hits Franzreb right in the left shoulder. Nelson picks up the rebound, goes around behind the net. A feed in front for Larkin. Would not go either. Play resumes. 1 minute exactly left on this German power play. And the first unit is going to stay out there. Here's Tim Stützle. Pass over to Szymanski, back to Stützle. He'll wrap it back up high to the point, and it skipped. Took a nasty hop along the boards, goes over Draisaitl, stick him back down to Germany ice. Seider picks it up there. Last rush attempt for this first power play unit. Draisaitl in, looking for Seider, hops over his stick. Now Dylan Larkin, oh my goodness, Larkin has wheels. He was this close from chipping the puck around JJ Peterka and being gone on a 2-on-1 with Nelson. Cleared again, though, by the U.S. here. 20 seconds now remaining on the Germany power play. Wisman back to get it. He comes up here. Dropper for Dominic Cahoon. Here's Cahoon, former one-time Pittsburgh Penguin. Pinned up against the boards here by Jacob Slavin. Now Faber sends it around the other way. Vinny Trocheck trying to get the puck out. Kept in again by Germany. Cahoon hit there and stripped of the puck and cleared. Nice play. Eichel out of the box. He's who gets it. Eichel in. Backhander. Saved by Franz Red. Puck is still loose. And it is going to be covered, but a penalty here is coming up. Vinny Trocheck was the one there trying to hack away at that rebound. I didn't even see Eichel come out of the box. It is going to be a penalty on Germany. It'll be an interference call. Trocheck got decked by the defenseman Weissman. And we are going to have a USA power play immediately after the Germans do. Eichel right out of the box. Argument can be made that Gawanke, he could have gotten a hooking penalty on Eichel there, who had a half breakaway. And then it is Wisman who just grabs Trocheck and throws him down to the ice. It's going to be an interference call on him. To the work for the second time today goes the United States power play. An early clear here from Germany. The U.S. now begins a trek up ice. Tage Thompson gets over the blue line. Now Eichel, drop for Quinn Hughes. His shot on goal. Looking in front of it. It goes in! Austin Matthews in front, I think, knocked it home. In the U.S. power play, short work. They get the second goal of the game. 2-0 USA. It indeed will be Captain America, his second goal of the Olympics. That time wasn't a pretty one, but it worked. Matthews enters the zone, parks right in front of the crease, and it was a tip from Matthews, a shot from Hughes. Might have gone off the stick of Matthews. I don't think Matthews even realized it hit his stick and went in. Eichel pointed to him like, hey, you scored. That puck off the body of the goaltender, Franz Reben. It somehow, lucky bounce, goes off the stick of Austin Matthews through the 5-hole and in. 2-0 USA. They score a little over 3.5 minutes into the second period. Resuming action again. It's going to be an icing here on the U.S. off the resuming face-off. Matt Boldy couldn't get a stick on it. Face-off coming back down to Connor Hellebuck's area. And now gives Matthews 4 points in 3 games of these Olympics. 2 goals, 2 assists. Excitement from him, Jack Eichel. Face-off here to the right of Hellebuck. Cahoon versus Dylan Larkin, captain of the Detroit Red Wings on the draw. Face-off, it's going to be won by Cahoon, but Matt Boldy over against the boards gets it. Breakout pass in the feet of Quinn Hughes. He might have had wheels the other way with maybe Clayton Keller. Now, the Germans trying to get themselves organized here in the neutral zone. They lose it again. Quinn Hughes dumps it in. And on the forecheck, that's Matt Boldy. Boldy down low. Slides it along to Jake Gensel up high. Good keep at the line by McAvoy, though. Couldn't keep it in for long. Michaelis up here for Germany. Pass to Cahoon. Cahoon's shot was in his feet a little, but it was blocked before it reached Hellebuck. Now Larkin chips it ahead there. Boldy trying to fight through the hit of a German defenseman up high. Dumped down low here by the U.S. into German territory. Pass up here through the neutral zone for Germany. And oh my goodness! Whoever number 62 is for Germany, I haven't gotten his name yet today. He just got absolutely rocked in the U.S. Back the other way. Zach Werenski, a one-timer. Didn't miss by much. That was Brady Tkachuk, I think, who just absolutely rocked number 62 for Germany. Whoever Tuomi for Germany, he met a Mack truck known as one of the Tkachuk brothers. I think we can call it a Mack Tkachuk. What a hit there by Brady. Almost took out his teammate Werenski in the process of that hit. Face off here to the right of the German goal. One there by Draisaitl. Kalbel gets it out to center. Puck comes quickly back into German zone now. You got Matthew Tkachuk there trying to get it deeper, but he's pinned against the boards. Tiffels gets it up here to Draisaitl. Now, turnover here. Brady Tkachuk, he's going to dump it in and go for a change. Kalbel back to get it for Germany. Waiting for someone to open up on the breakout here. His bank off the glass and out of the zone almost hit the official there. The official's looking back like, what the hell are you doing? You see me right here. Dump in here by the U.S. Szymanski, though, picks it up. Now to Draisaitl. Draisaitl impeded there by Jack Hughes for the moment. Now it's Tiffels who can't get it out. Tried to bank it off the glass and out. Kept in by the U.S. High slot shot there from Brock Nelson. Didn't miss by much. Werenski slides it over. Moving in. That's Noah Hannafin. A shot in. Excuse me. That might be Jake Sanderson. My apologies. That is going to be stopped by Franzberg. By Franzreb. So natural for me to call him Franzberg. But Franzreb, he makes the save. Play is stopped. Some more looks here at the Tkachuk brothers. The many hits of Brady and Matthew in this game. Some chirping for the German bench as well. That's the way they play hockey, and that's the way the USA wants to set the tone. They've been doing an excellent job of that in most of these games so far in the Olympics. Shot on goal here. Where's the puck? Off the face-off. The puck went up to the point. It went on net. The goaltender, Franzreb, didn't get a clean stop on it. And many bodies converged quickly on the goal crease. It's going to be no goal for the time being. JT Miller, Brock Nelson in the middle of the fray. Everyone grabs a dance partner. 14-19, the clock stops again here. One by Nelson. That's a shot from Sanderson, and it was, who knows, Franzreb went down to a butterfly to make the stop, stood up, and the puck was right underneath him, and he had no idea. Face off again here, won by the U.S. Brock Nelson in a battle right now with Tim Stützle for possession. Behind the net, Wisman, who took the penalty that resulted in the U.S. goal. Now it's a feet ahead here. Here's Lucas Reichel, and he is going to be hooked, and the U.S. is going to go shorthanded again. Tim Stützle behind the net. Puck is touched up by JT Miller, and both teams exchanging penalties and power plays here to begin the second. Stretch pass ahead from Wisman to, might have been Dominic Cahoon. He gives it to Lucas Reichel, who almost went in on a partial break, and Sanderson from behind, stopping him from getting a chance on goal. So that is going to give the Germans a power play to maybe get back in this hockey game a little bit here. Back here to the comment section. What's going on here, guys? Freight Train. You know if the refs are international or the NHL refs? Both, actually, Freight Train. I do know that. I want to say there are 12 officials, or 12 referees at least, over there in Italy for these games. I want to say 7 are from the National Hockey League and 5 are from international leagues. You got the SHL, KHL, all of those leagues over there. So it's a bit of a mix between these for all these referees and officials there. Flacco in the comment section. Welcome, Flacco. USA all the way. Another shout out Freight Train for another $1.99 contribution. Let's go, boys. 2-0 USA. It's how we like it here. Unless it's soccer and skateboarding, go USA here. Tkachuk. That's actually a good one. Yeah, he got Tkachuk indeed. Whoever Tuomi is there for Germany. That was biggest hit of the hockey game up until this point. Feeling that USA jersey. Appreciate it, Flacco. Representing the old school USA. Can't go wrong with something classic like this. The captain of Team USA, Mike Eruzione. The U.S. looking for their first gold medal since Mike Eruzione was donning the C here. It's been a long, long time, 46 years since the U.S. hockey team last won gold. They did it over Finland after taking down the best team on the planet, the Soviet Union, back in 1980. Now they're looking to, with maybe their most stacked Olympic roster in history, looking to find some gold again. It is a slash on Sanderson. That was the penalty call. In the U.S. here on this German power play, they get the first scoring chance there. Vinny Trocheck, excellent penalty killer. He had a chance the other way on the backhand. His shot, I think, went off the goaltender and into the netting, out of play. Let's take a look here, see if we have any other shorthanded opportunities here for the U.S. They just showed three gentlemen. They were wearing blue and yellow. Want to suspect that those are Swedes and have no idea if they are athletes or not. Here's Szymanski up high. Marit Seider moving in. His shot, clear side, line of vision there for Connor Hellebuck. He makes the glove save and gets the stop for the whistle. Looking at the NHL point leaders in the Olympics, McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini, 96, 93, 81. Leon Draisaitl out there on this German power play. He is fourth in the NHL in points right now with 80. Brock Nelson on the face-off, 29 against 29. He versus Draisaitl here to the left of Hellebuck. Won by Draisaitl. Up high, Marit Seider couldn't keep it in. Was looking to play catch with J.J. Peterka, but great job by Dylan Larkin to make sure the puck got out. Josh Szymanski back in. His centering pass for Peterka goes off of a stick, and it's cleared again by the U.S. 1:08 left to go on the German power play. 13 minutes now left to go in the second period. Stützle up ice for Germany. Drop there for Draisaitl. Here's moving in. Peterka, shot, save made by Hellebuck. He didn't catch it, but he made sure to squeeze his body tight together to make sure that that puck did not come loose for a rebound. We'll have another face-off coming up here in a moment. You're not rooting for, back to the comment section for A-Train here. Why are you rooting for soccer and skateboarding, Flacco? I wonder what that's about. Too, Flacco, you'll have to indulge us a little bit. Power play for Germany continues. 57 seconds. Seider over drive. I believe that was from Peterka. Not sure if it made it on net. It was kept out. That's all that matters. Cleared again by the U.S. 45 seconds now remaining for Germany. Stützle flying up ice again. Give and go with Szymanski. Stützle wraps it around. Draisaitl keeps it alive along the boards. Up high. Seider walking to the middle. Over to Draisaitl again. Draisaitl, top of the circle. His shot there, looking for the deflection. It went wide. Kept alive again by the Germans. Draisaitl again. Pass over. Seider, one-timer, and it just went wide. They had Hellebuck moving all around there. And it goes up into the netting and out of play. Did Hellebuck get a piece of that? Would have to take a look here. Another look at the shot attempt from Stützle. Pad save by Hellebuck. And then this one-timer here from Seider. And indeed, it was a glove save right off the cuff of the mitt for Connor Hellebuck that deflects that puck up and out of play. Steady Eddie in the net today, Hellebuck. Penalty on Sanderson, 19 seconds away from expiring. Won again by this German top unit. They stay out there. Stützle, a shot, went off of a stick, maybe a piece of Hellebuck, and behind the net. Hannafin trying to get it out of the zone. Diving attempt for Stützle to keep it in. Just could not. Stützle now retreats back to his own zone. Werenski, excuse me. He's out of the box for the U.S. Back to even strength. Here's Stützle in. Feed for Draisaitl, couldn't connect. Larkin now, stretch pass. It's a breakaway for Jake Gensel, moving in. Trying to go 5-hole, save made by Franz Reb. Dylan Larkin follows up. Couldn't get a piece of it. Peterka, he hits the ice out the neutral zone for Germany. In the middle of a change is the Germans. Pat's here. Jonas Mueller stepping down as the D-man. Behind the net, Michaelis for Germany. Loses it. Gensel trying to feed it back to Noah Hannafin, was nearly picked off by Germany. Austin Matthews now at center ice will dump it in. Franz Reb wraps it around. Matthews there, nearly off of the board carom, was going to knock that to the middle of the ice. Germany still trying to get it out again. Good keeps here at the line by the U.S. First bully, now Werenski, Matt Bodie in, and he is not going to be called for a trip here. Bodie, Wisman, the defenseman, hit the ice. Bodie tried to jump over him, couldn't get quite the clearance. Up high, Werenski again. Moving down in, Quinn Hughes, waiting for an option to open in front, in the skates of Matthews. And Quinn Hughes again keeps it in for the moment. But now Germany finally is going to get the clear. It's tipped in by Tuomi. And Germany gets some tired bodies off. Here comes Werenski in. Pass for Brady Tkachuk wrapped around. Eichel lets it go to Hughes. Werenski again. Down low, bank corner. Pass to Brady Tkachuk. Eichel now out of the corner. Waiting for Werenski to open up here. Just couldn't do it. Tipped out to center by Tobias Reeder. Quinn Hughes trying to fend off the attack of Nico Sturm. Heavy collision out at center ice between two bodies. Back in the German zone, Gawonki up the boards to Reeder. Back for Gawonki. Over to number 38 for Team Germany. Haven't said his name a bunch here. That's Fabio Wagner, the partner of Marit Seider. Here's Seider with the puck now in the offensive zone. Shot, save made by Hellebuck. Rebound is going to be flicked out to center here by Tage Thompson. Not enough for icing, though. 9:35 left to go in the second period. Shots 23-14 in favor of the U.S. Draisaitl with speed. Down the right side. Coming in and throw to the front there. Was looking for Tiffles. Went just wide of Hellebuck. Here's Seider again. He's going to wrap it around the boards. Looking to get it back to his D partner, Wagner. And it goes all the way out of the zone. Up comes the Germans again quickly. Szymanski looking back for Draisaitl. Couldn't connect. Now here's Tage Thompson with the puck. Sends it ahead to Dylan Larkin. He'll tip it in. U.S. probably going for a change. Jonas Mueller. Sends it up here for Tim Stützle. Stützle now trying to make a nifty move there to get into the zone. Couldn't do it. And now Frederick Tiffles there. Thought he might have been onside. Turns out he was not. A whistle in a stoppage here. What action to begin the first, half of the second period. A little bit more than that. Much more fast-paced, less of a feeling out process between these two teams up to this point. Another look here. Connor Hellebuck has been standing tall in net for the U.S. Franz Reb, Maximilian Franz Reb for Germany, doing the same up to this point. Another look at the many chances throughout this game so far for both teams. Let's see here what the U.S. does in the last half of this second period. Look at the U.S. bench right now down the line. Again, like I said, maybe the most stacked U.S. Olympic roster that they have ever fielded, and that is without guys like Jason Robertson, leads the NHL in American goal scoring. Cole Caulfield, not far behind for the Montreal Canadiens. Got a couple of defensemen. Lane Hudson, young D-man for the Canadiens. Lots of talent. Way more than what this jersey that they had out on the ice there. The 1980 Olympic team. A bunch of college kids taking down the best team in the world. Really, since then, USA Hockey has increased and has become a powerhouse. Credit to them. Play resumes here. Face-off was just outside of the U.S. zone. A little bit of a jousting here off the face-off between Boldy and Reichel. And Noah Hannafin in his own zone. They'll lift it out to center here. Jake Gensel trying to chip it on by. Could not. Now entering the zone. Sanderson puts on the brakes, dumps it around behind the net. Boldy lets it go for Matthews. And Matthews, he couldn't keep it in. It's cleared down to U.S. ice by Germany. Back to get it, Sanderson. To Hannafin. Breakout here. It's Jake Gensel. Now here's Sanderson with a ton of speed through the neutral zone. Puts on the brakes, finds Boldy, the trailer. Boldy stopped, shot, and save made there by Franz Reb on the deflection off a German player's stick. 8 minutes now left to go in the second period. Team USA a 2-0 lead. Gensel trying to get the puck back into German zone with possession. Quinn Hughes, a little bit of a pinch, keeps it alive for the moment, but now Michaelis is going to get it over here to Kowalski. Kowalski, his stick breaks. Can the U.S. take advantage here? They do get a new stick for Kowalski. Jake Gensel just over the blue line here. Now it's chipped out by Germany. Back to USA territory. Charlie McAvoy loses it there. Tobias Reeder nearly with a chance. Now here's Jack Hughes trying to feed it ahead to JT Miller. Couldn't connect. Now back to Miller. Here's Brock Nelson with room. Over. Jack Hughes puts on the brakes, looking for an option. Hughes now top of the circle. His shot pad save made by Franz Reb. Hughes again to his brother Quinn. Quinn now with time. Sends it over to his D partner Faber. Back for Jack Hughes in the high slot. Hughes knifing his way on in. Behind the net now, Hughes. Up high to Quinn again. The USA buzzing. Quinn Hughes a shot. Save made by Franz Reb. Battle for it down low. JT Miller trying to keep possession, but it's taken away by Nico Sturm. Germany trying to counterpunch now. Sturm into the zone. Tries to dangle through. Quinn Hughes takes a hit for good measure. And he loses possession as well. Faber to Hughes. U.S. forward lines rolling now. Tipped in here, and this is going to maybe be an icing here on the U.S., I would assume. Thought it was tipped in to negate the icing, but not so. Brady Tkachuk and the Jack Eichel line, I assume, on the ice now for the U.S. Not too much mixings of the lines so far in this tournament for Mike Sullivan. He has kept the lines set in place. There was a brief moment against Denmark where you saw Jack Hughes get a couple shifts with Jake Gensel and Austin Matthews, but that's pretty much it. The other change, Clayton Keller coming into the lineup today for Kyle Connor. There's a heavy hit in front of the U.S. bench by Brady Tkachuk. Here's his brother, Matthew. Shot. Save made by Franz Rebens. Stepped aside. Brady, again now pestering Jonas Mueller. He'll go off on a change. Pass ahead of Leon Draisaitl. Slavin to Hannafin. Up through the neutral zone here, looking for someone to get a piece of it for the U.S., but it's icing again. Do not like that for the U.S., for being honest. Would not like to see them start having these bad icing habits again. That's what kept Denmark in the game more than they should have been yesterday. Too many icings for the U.S. I get it, Olympic hockey, best on best, and also, of course, the rink dimensions. Those aren't getting talked about enough. The rink 3 feet smaller than NHL regulated rinks, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I'd like to see the U.S. stop giving free offensive zone faceoffs to the opposition. Another chance to get it out here for the U.S. Behind the net, Jacob Slavin fights it from J.J. Peterka. Now Hannafin through center. Hannafin soft dump. He'll go off on a change. Clayton Keller on the forecheck. Chipped out to center again here by Germany. Dylan Larkin. Back to Zach Werenski. Slavin to Tage Thompson. Here's Thompson. Big man, 6'6". Tons of skill moving in. Thompson, shot on goal, goes off of a stick and wide. Now here comes Germany the other way. A 3-on-2 forming for them. Reichel, pass over here. Stützle, tried to get it back to Reichel. Couldn't do it. Stützle up high. Kaubel, his slap shot. Save made right under the pad of Connor Hellebuck, and a whistle for a stoppage. Nice stop there for Hellebuck. Still doing a fantastic job in that crease for the U.S. 5:47 left to go in the second period. 2-0 U.S. They're up by 10 right now in the shots on goal department, 24-14. 9 of you still in here. On your way in, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so that you do not miss a thing here throughout this men's Olympic ice hockey tournament, especially with the U.S. squad. We'll be following them throughout this Olympic process, which by this time next week, we will find out who is taking home gold for this tournament. You got the U.S. and Canada as the top 2 seeds right now. Slovakia, the number 3 seed. I believe Finland has the final quarterfinal play-in bye seed at number 4. They have that well in hand. So you're looking at teams like Sweden and Czechia and even this Germany team needing to play in to reach the quarterfinals. We shall see. Game coming back on here to the right in Milano Cortina, Italy. Been having some fun watching these Olympics. I do not remember a time in my life where I've actually had the Olympics on, pretty much all day. I've been really invested in curling over the last few days. Big controversy in curling right now with a Canadian dude allegedly cheating, giving the curling stone an extra push. Been watching some ski jumping as well, biathlon, speed skating, figure skating, pretty much all of it has been fun to watch so far in these Olympic Games. Resume to the sport that really matters in these Olympic Games, the hockey. Face off to the right of Hellebuck was won for a moment by Germany, but now the U.S. back the other way will have a chance to go on the attack. Here's a shot from the slot. Austin Matthews there, patted away by Franzreb. Charlie McAvoy joining the rush there with Matthews and I believe Matt Boldy. And now we got a stoppage in play right now. I think might have been offsides. Famous soccer player Christian Pulisic in the crowd there. He's an American. Watching the U.S. Got some other U.S. athletes in there as well. Not sure what sport they are affiliated with. Off the face-off just outside the U.S. zone here, Moritz Seider dumped it into the corner. Little clear off the glass here for the U.S. Goes back down to Germany's zone. Moritz Mueller plays it up here. Now Quinn Hughes with it in his own zone, trying to spin away from Szymanski. Pass out to center. Boldy to Matthews. Matthews with space. Drop. Boldy. His shot. Blocker save made by Franzreb. Boldy now again will knock it around behind the net. Goes all the way up to the point where Quinn Hughes is. Spinning turn by Jake Gensel hit a body and went to the corner. Gensel again has the puck on his stick, but out at center. Noah Hannafin takes it back into the German zone. Throws it to the corner. Gensel out of the corner. Pass. High slot. Werenski over. Shot attempt there from Brock Nelson. Was blocked by Moritz Seider. Seider just trying to hit anything in a white jersey that is moving right now. This clearing attempt from Germany goes into the U.S. bench. So the play will stay in the zone here. 3:33 left to go in the second period. The U.S. maybe have another little bit of end of period magic left in them here. We'll see. Hannafin and Werenski, the D-men, will stay out there. The Nelson line is on. Face-off won by Nelson, but the Germans steal it off the draw, anticipating a win. U.S. takes possession of it again. Werenski from his own zone. Pass to center ice here. It's going to be dumped in. Gawonki trying to play it up the boards here. Kept now and stolen by the U.S. JT Miller up high. Werenski. They'll softly lay it back to the corner. Jack Hughes picks it up. Hughes trying to power his way to the high slot. Couldn't do it. Werenski now trying to throw one over back door. I'm not sure JT Miller was there ready for it. Now Brock Nelson up high. Tried to give it back to Noah Hannafin. Goes off a stick of Dominic Cahunin back out. The U.S. needs to regroup. Here's Jack Hughes back in again. Throws on the brakes. Spinning off of a hit of Nico Sturm. Now Tobias Reeder, Sturm's line mate, will clear it back down to U.S. territory. It feels like Germany's on a bit of a power play right now, unable to get a rush going the other way when they get possession, just looking to clear the puck out. Now the Kachuk and Eichel line comes on. Faber, a shot from the point, and he goes in! What happened there? Shot from Brock Faber goes in. It might have gone off the goalie Franz Reb's blocker and in. With 2:25 left to go in the period, the U.S. does have a little bit of that late period magic. It's 3-0. Let's take a look at the let's take a look here and we'll see, is this going to be high sticking? The shot from Faber, it looked like it was going high and wide, and it is both the glove of Franz Reb and the stick of Jack Eichel that touched the puck. And that might negate it here. Unless they're going to take a look at it here. Are they going to take a look at it? The officials here, no, they're pointing at center ice. They're going to drop this puck and leave it as a good goal. Looks like it is the goaltender's glove that touched the puck rather than Eichel's stick. Or maybe it hit Eichel's stick and then the goalie touching it negated the high sticking. So that's a good U.S. goal, and it's going to be Brock Faber actually with the goal. Excuse me. Faber is going to be credited with the goal. They say it did not touch Eichel. The assists to both Tkachuk brothers. And Brady running that shift for the U.S. with a stick from one of his teammates they just showed on the replay. Play resumes. 2:10 left to go here in the second. The U.S. another late period goal. We'll see if they're done yet. Puck out at center here. It's going to be taken possession of by the Germans. Jonas Mueller up to Nico Sturm here. Now it's going to be Tim Stützle looking for a teammate for help. No one was around. Back out to center. Wisman here to Peterka. Peterka over to Jonas Mueller. Puck skipped over his stick a minute. Germany just trying to get into the zone and get something going here. U.S. stopping them from doing it. Now Tiffel's over the line. Let's see if he is any better. Stützle again trying to spit away from Matt Boldy. He goes down. No penalty called. Brady Tkachuk ahead for Jack Eichel. Fends off the check from Wagner. In the slot. Boldy, a shot blocked there by Tiffels. You got Dominic Cahoon there poking it back down to U.S. territory. Taken there by Noah Hannafin. Breakout pass to Austin Matthews. Now Jake Gensel into the German zone. Matthews to Gensel in front, and Gensel couldn't get a clear, good shot on it. Great give and go there from Matthews and Gensel. They just could not finish. Shot from the point here from, I believe that is Hannafin. Went wide of the net. Spinning pass to the slot there from Boldy hits the back of the net. 45 seconds left to go in the period. Leon Draisaitl behind the net. He's a little bit tripped up by Matthews. Again, no call. Whistles put away here for the referees. Shot on goal here eventually skips in off a deflection. Franz Reb is able to get a glove on it and get a whistle here with about, I'd say, 30 seconds or so left to go. Bit of a last-minute pressure being thrown here by the U.S. Another look at the Faber goal a moment ago. Faber just, hey, it's that old adage in hockey, throw anything on net. See if you can get a lucky break. That's what happened there. It'll be Dylan Larkin on the face-off here with Brock Nelson as one of his wingers. And Larkin is going to lose the draw. Taken by Lucas Reichel, chipped down to U.S. territory. Now 30 seconds left to go in the period. Werenski trying to be given a bank pass back here to Quinn Hughes. Hughes now skies it out to center. Taken there by Sturm. The German defense plays a D-to-D catch right now. Offsides is Germany. Zach Werenski takes it. 10 seconds left. Werenski to Quinn Hughes. Back for Werenski. The U.S. is just going to run out the clock here on this period. 3, 2, and 1. And we are going to be heading to the third period of play with the U.S. up 3-0. Shout out Freight Train a moment ago. 199 contribution for the third Team USA goal. Appreciate that, Freight Train, as always. Good stuff all around that period for the U.S. No really, aside from the power play that they had, no massive amounts of pressure on the U.S. goal from Germany. Great stuff there. These refs must be the refs that cover the Pens game. Yeah, no kidding there, Freight Train. There, I've seen maybe about, 6 different penalties in that period that could have been called, but not the case. Whistles are swallowed here. Whistles are swallowed. 8 of you in here right now. Welcome. Second intermission about to get underway here in a moment. The U.S. up 3-0. Goals in that period was from Brock Faber. The other goal from Austin Matthews on a power play and made it 2-0 USA at the beginning of the second. So on to the third. The U.S., they only need to score 7 third period goals here to go and beat Canada out for the number 1 seed. It's not impossible, but we'll see if it happens here. Freight Train again. We have that here down in talking about a conversation with you and Flacco. I will let that go then there. Freight Train. Excellent period for Team USA with that. Going to take a break again here for the second intermission. 9 of you in here on your way in. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you do not miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section. Your reactions to how Team USA is doing and any predictions you may have for the third period. Get those in there as well. Back here in a moment. USA 3, Germany 0, as we will head to the third in a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0 USA as the third period of play from Milano Cortina, Italy is officially underway. Team USA leading this one, about to hopefully go 3-0 in the preliminary rounds of the 2026 men's ice hockey Winter Olympic tournament. Puck comes up high here in the Germany zone. A slap shot from Charlie McAvoy was fanned on, and it might be a turnover. Now it is for the Germans. Out at center, though, McAvoy gets it back. Pass just inside the blue line as McAvoy got rocked by I believe Fabian Wagner. And that is a big hit for him. Fabio Wagner, excuse me. Nearly a minute has gone by here in the third period already. Moritz Seider of the Detroit Red Wings from behind his own net. He now wraps it up the boards here, looking for a teammate. Instead, it's Brock Faber stepping down, but now it's Tim Stützle who flies away with it. 2-on-1 here for Germany. Look out, Tim Stützle in his shot, short and wide to the near side on Connor Hellebuck. Big save there. If he got a piece of it for Hell, he keeps it a 3-goal lead for Team USA. Right now, Team USA, they would need to score 7 goals or more here in the second period, or in the third period, excuse me, to get the number 1 seed over Canada. Bank shot here from JJ Peterka trying to bank one in off Connor Hellebuck. Does not work. USA now skating away with it. Dylan Larkin through the neutral zone over the blue line. Shot here by Clayton Keller went wide on the near side. Another close attempt there for the U.S. Tage Thompson had it in his feet in the high slot. Couldn't get a stick on it. Jake Sanderson down low. Dylan Larkin up high. Thompson, a one-timer. He scores! Tage Thompson, TNT. And he showed a lot of why he has that nickname right there. Bombs away from the middle of the high slot for Tage Thompson. It's 4-0 USA. Zip America. Excellent shift there from the Larkin, Thompson, and Clayton Keller line. Thompson has had a few looks in this game, and that is his second goal of the tournament. Howitzer from the high slot beats the goaltender, Franz Reb, over the blocker, and the U.S. strikes first blood in this period. 2 minutes in. Play resumes. Kalabal gets it out here to center ice. Picked up there by Tuomi, who took a nasty hit from Brady Tkachuk earlier in the game. Shot from Gawanke at the point here. Deflects in on Connor Hellebuck. He'll get the stop for the whistle. Tage Thompson, he continues to be a diamond in the rough here for this Team USA squad. One of the few players on this Team USA Olympic roster that was not on the team for the Four Nations face-off a year ago. He, with the season he's having with the Buffalo Sabres and his size and skill that he brings, a rare combination of just absolute giantness and elite skill from Thompson, he was an easy add to this roster. Good start for him to these Olympic Games. As I was saying a moment ago, as Quinn Hughes brings this one into the zone, drop for Jake Gensel. Hughes now looking to Boldy in the slot. The U.S. right now, unless they score, I believe, 6 goals in the next 17 minutes and 15 seconds, they will be in the second seed, still getting a quarterfinals play-in bye, but they will be the second seed behind Canada. Canada, I believe they would get the winner of, I think I have it here somewhere. Canada right now, they would likely get the winner of Czechia in Denmark in the quarters. Meanwhile, the U.S., they will be getting the winner of Sweden or Latvia. They beat Latvia 5-1 to begin the Olympic Games. They have yet to play Sweden, but even though Sweden is a bit of a sleep at the wheel, to say the least, for these Olympics, thus far, Sweden has not had a good showing, for them being the only other team other than the U.S. and Canada to have all NHL roster. And oh my goodness, there's another big hit. I think Brady Tkachuk just ran through someone again. That was Wisman, the defenseman, and Brady Tkachuk takes a hit back from him. The intensity heating up here. Tiffles in the corner, has the puck poked away from him. But back to what I was saying, Sweden, even though they are a bit of asleep at the wheel right now, they are very dangerous and will be a tough matchup for the U.S. Brady Tkachuk fighting for the red line here. Could not get it in deep, though. Szymanski takes it there for Germany. Now it's Jonas Mueller over to Wisman. Centering pass here goes to Tuomi. Tuomi trying to get it to Szymanski, but you had Noah Hannafin there to knock it away. Dylan Larkin, he'll backhand it out to center here. Tage Thompson chasing after it, all over Mueller. Now Thompson delivers a check on Wisman. Dylan Larkin in on the play now. The fort check from this third line for the U.S. Keller, Larkin, and Thompson. They are all over the place right now. Thompson pursues the puck in the corner. It's now out to center where Germany loses possession of it there. Michael is trying to feed it on through, picked off by the U.S. defense. Tage Thompson spinning away from pressure here. He'll regroup as he and his line mates head off for a change. 15-15 left to go in the hockey game. Pass up here to the neutral zone, tipped in by, I believe that was Brock Nelson. JT Miller down low. Jack Hughes now cycles it up high. Hughes to his brother Quinn. Quinn Hughes now throwing it to the front, looking for a stick or a body. JT Miller was there, couldn't knock it home. Now Germany up ice again. It's JJ Peterka coming into the zone. Pass for Kabel, doesn't connect. Tim Stutzel in the corner. He's been pretty good today for Germany, even though it hasn't resulted in anything on the scoreboard yet. Peterka in the corner gets dumped by McAvoy. Quinn Hughes takes possession of it in front of his own net. He'll backhand it out to center, where Jack Hughes gives it to Brock Nelson. Nelson takes a massive hit, gives it to Hughes on the way by, and it's a save made by Franz Reb on Hughes, who tried to go 5-hole. Massive shot there taken by Brock Nelson. Very experienced veteran in the NHL. Probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest, player on the team for the U.S. Jake Gensel now waits as Germany slows things down with Moritz Seider behind his own net, waiting for his team to come back and help him. It's Wisman bringing it up to the middle of the ice here for Germany into the zone. Wisman tries a shot on goal, sticked away there by Zach Werenski. Wrapped around behind. First look, truly, this period for Leon Draisaitl, and he got hit real hard by Matt Boldy. Austin Matthews now with it through center for the U.S. Matthews to Boldy. Back to Werenski. Werenski shot save made by Franz Reb with the pad. Crisp passing there from the U.S. But now Germany a chance to respond maybe. Draisaitl tried to drop it for Tiffles, but it's picked off now. Now you got Matthews in with Jake Gensel. Gensel circles behind the net. Tried to get it to Jake Sanderson in the high slot. Goes to Hannafin instead. Now Sanderson with it. His shot tipped in! Austin Matthews! Standing right there beside the post. A beautiful shot there from Jake Sanderson. Right on the tape of Matthews for the deflection goal backdoor. That's another USA goal. And not many are going to come easier for Austin Matthews in the tournament other than that one. Dare I say, an opening of the floodgates here for Team USA. An elite pass there from Sanderson. It goes through the wickets of Jonas Mueller, the defenseman. It goes under the stick of the forward for Germany, Tiffles, and Matthews on the back door. Just an easy little chip in. I don't mean to show my Pittsburgh Penguins homerism there, but we've seen that quite a bit in the careers of both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, types of goals like that. Great play there by Matthews, his second of the game here for Team USA. Is the U.S. done yet? The Eichel Tkachuk line is now on. Matthew Tkachuk from the corner. His shot goes off the outside of the cage. Wisman there for Germany, gives it to Szymanski. Szymanski puts it back behind his own net again. Now Moritz Mueller trying to sky that one to center, and it's just offsides there. Brady Tkachuk trying to keep it in, and now Tkachuk and Moritz Mueller, they meet, and they're about to go and exchange pleasantries with each other. Now they're wishing each other best of luck in the rest of your games, these Olympics. Might see, we're getting here to the later stages of the game. We saw a fight earlier today in the Canada-France game with Tom Wilson involved, I would not be all that surprised if you had the Tkachuk brothers, if they are provoked in the later stage of this game when it's well decided, if they end up taking out some of their pent-up frustrations on someone in a black and yellow jersey. Some more highlights of the goals today for Team USA. Back to Leon Draisaitl, by the way. And speaking of the Tkachuks, they're showing Matthew on the screen right now. How about, I couldn't hear it. It was caught on a hot mic. Apparently, Matthew Tkachuk, an elite chirp at Leon Draisaitl during one of the breaks in the second period. Leon chirping at the Tkachuk brothers, and Matthew citing back to the past few Stanley Cup finals, telling Leon, always the bridesmaid, eh? So a little bit of NHL drama getting brought to these Olympics here. To the comments section we go here. What's going on, Freight Train? Thank you for the $1.99 contributions for the next, for the last two Team USA goals and throughout all of their goals in this contest. Indeed, what you say here, 5 more goals. They got to get to 10, I believe, to clear Canada for the #1 seed. I mean, still a long way for them to go here as play is about to resume here. They have got their work cut out ahead of them here, that's for sure here. So now we get to see what response we get. 12:37 left to go here in the third. Shots 33-17 in favor of the U.S. Franzreb, who remains in there for Germany. This one is skied in on him from the neutral zone. He just gloves it like a center fielder and gets the whistle for the face-off. Look there at Brady Tkachuk now on the bench for the U.S. One thing that was really awesome to see before this game, a bit of a show into the childhood of Brady and Matthew Tkachuk, narrated by Doc Emmerich before this game. That was cool to watch. Reed Sider for Germany off the face-off in his own zone. Gets it out to center, but brought back in. Here's Austin Matthews looking for the Hattie. Matthews, his shot, I think it was stopped a little bit, or it went wide. Up high now, kept in by Zach Werenski off the stick of Quinn Hughes, and here comes Germany the other way. J.J. Peterka trying to speed his way around Hughes. Werenski in the corner meets him. Peterka keeps possession for the time being. Feeds it along to Tim Stützle. Stützle back behind again, but Werenski's waiting for it there. Up the boards, Reichel spins one wide of the net here. Goes all the way back to the point. Shot there from Wisman, wide. Goes off the back of the cage, off the carom there. Werenski now to Jake Gensel. The U.S. is going to slow things down here as they go for a change. The Matthews-Gensel Boldy line comes off. On comes Vincent Trocheck, Dylan Larkin, and Tage Thompson. Dump in here by the U.S. Larkin there pins his man and down to the ice against the boards. Tage Thompson now trying to move his way free. Thompson fighting through contact there. Great stuff there. He's getting held by, I think, Jonas Mueller. No penalty called. Trocheck up high. Here's McAvoy moving in. McAvoy, patience, wraparound. Oh! Didn't get enough of the angle on the wraparound. Put it right back through the blue paint. Another pass for Tage Thompson. He couldn't get a piece of that one-time opportunity. Another near goal for the U.S. They're bidding for a 6. Tage Thompson throws one to the front. Larkin was there, but not in the right spot. Sanderson back in his own zone, plays it up to center again. Nice chip along there to Vinny Trocheck. Larkin in the corner, rubbed off there by Nico Sturm. Germany with possession again. Here comes Larkin, delivers a hit on Gawonki. Physicality starting to pick up now. Tiffels circles behind his own net with speed. Now Germany trying to get something going up ice here. Tiffels over the blue line, poked away there by the U.S. defense. That was Slavin. JT Miller flings one up the ice. No one able to touch it for Team USA. That is going to be an icing by a good bit right there. Another good shift right there from that Larkin, Tage Thompson line. They cycled Clayton Keller off of that line, and they had Vinny Trocheck there. Another awesome shift from those guys. They might be the line of the game here. I think we've had, one of those lines each game. First game, it was the Brock Nelson, Jack Hughes, JT Miller line. Second game, I'd say their best line was the Eichel and Kachuk brother line. And then in this game 3, whatever line has Dylan Larkin and Tage Thompson on it, they're bidding for line of the game for the U.S. Here's Leon Draisaitl, the big German forward, moving up the ice here. Pass off to Tiffels. Draisaitl down low now. Szymanski looking for space. Szymanski back to Draisaitl. Up high. There's Moritz Seider, a shot, and that hit a body and went wide. In the corner, Tiffels up high. Draisaitl walking the blue line. Drop here for Seider. Seider, his shot attempt off the skate of Jack Hughes and into the netting behind the net. And that'll get us another stop. That's some buy-in right there. Usually you don't see superstars like that. Jack Hughes willingly get in front of shots, but he did it that time. Credit to him and credit to this team doing whatever it takes to win right now. They're going to take another commercial break over here to my right. Score remains 5-0 with the time left on the clock at 10 minutes and 21 seconds. So you're looking at it really being crunch time here for the U.S. to, make this a challenge for the number 1 seed. I wonder, let's just say hypothetically here, we get 3 more U.S. goals. That makes it 8-0, and let's say there's about 2 minutes left. Do we see a situation like what we saw from Sweden yesterday morning against Czechia, where the U.S. pulls their goalie up 8-0 to try to get 2 more goals? I mean, you might as well, because you're playing right now for goals. You got the win, I think, well in hand at this point. You're playing to score as many goals as possible. Pulling a goalie, even if it's 7-0, I'd be cool with that. And then go from there. You definitely have the number 2 seed locked up by a lot. So it's just a matter of, can you score enough goals? Let's see they have any more opportunities to get grade A scoring chances right now. Would have been real nice for Charlie McAvoy a moment ago to just keep possession of that puck just enough on the wraparound. They're now showing here on NBC as they come back. The last time, as I said, that the U.S. won a gold medal, they're showing the United States beating Soviet Union in the semifinals back in 1980. They would then go on to defeat Finland in the gold medal game. Face off here coming up. It's going to be inside the U.S. zone, won by Szymanski. Shot there from Jonas Mueller. Save made by Connor Hellebuck. Szymanski now pinned in the corner by Noah Hannafin. 9:30 left to go in the game. The U.S. trying to get it out of their zone. Werenski now with it. Pass over to his D partner Hannafin. The Eichel-Kachuk line out there. Werenski now gets the feed back from Hannafin. Drop for Brady Kachuk. Brady trying to go back door to, I think, his brother Matthew. They couldn't connect. Up ice, here comes Tuomi. He's trying to skate away from Brady Kachuk, who hit him hard earlier in the game. Matthew with Zach Werenski up near the U.S. bench trying to poke it out. Now Brady does it. Over Moritz Seider on the other side of the ice, takes possession. Over the blue line, drop here. Here's Cobble. Cobble couldn't get a shot off. And taken again there by the U.S. Hannafin couldn't chip it out. Down low. J.J. Peterka almost had a point-blank range. Couldn't catch the pass, though. Peterka now feeds it over. I believe this is Sturm moving in. Shot, and he scores. Tim Stützle is going to cut the lead for the U.S. down to 4. He's been buzzing all game long. Was hoping that the U.S. would hold him at bay, but if anybody on Germany was going to score a goal here today for Germany, it was going to be Tim Stützle, and he roofing one right there from short range on Connor Hellebuck. That is going to make it a 5-1 deficit for Germany. Look here. For some reason, I lost my banner here. Got to put that back in. There it is right there. Germany 1, USA 5. So that pretty much makes things very much harder for Team USA. At this point, if I'm Mike Sullivan looking at the time, 8:30 left in the hockey game, up only by 4. Might be time to, when the 5-minute mark rolls around, holding guys like Jack Eichel and Austin Matthews, Quinn Hughes, those types of guys off the ice. Shot from the point here, Moritz Seider gloved by Connor Hellebuck. Had a little bit of traffic in front of him, but he makes the save. Took 19 shots in the game for Germany to finally get one past the Vezina winning goaltender Connor Hellebuck. And now gives Stützle 4 goals. Most goals in a single Olympics involving NHL players. Stützle with 4 now. Takes lead. Back in the U.S. zone again. Here's a shot from, I believe, Alexander L. Haven't said his name at all today. 4th liner, number 40. Save made by Hellebuck, and another whistle and face-off will be coming up here in a moment. U.S. right now back on their heels a tiny bit. Let's see if they could maybe not make this ending of this game as, close as it needs to be. Brock Faber is going to shoot this one into his own bench, tried to get the clear. Goes right near Charlie McAvoy and Noah Hannafin. 7:58 left to go. Thompson is going to stay out there right now for the U.S. Got Draisaitl and I believe that was Jack Eichel on the face-off there. Was won by Draisaitl, but now they lose it. Fabio Wagner back out to center, able to skate away from Matthew Tkachuk. Tkachuk is going to dump it in here. Knocked down by Brady. Moritz Seider. Now to Fabio Wagner. Tipped into the zone here by Tiffels. Back to get it behind his own net, Quinn Hughes. Bank pass off the boards. Brady Tkachuk just gets it out of the zone against Moritz Seider. Those are 2 guys, large, physical players right there meeting up. Both superstars on their current teams. Here comes Seider up the middle of the ice. Massive young defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings. And a shot here as he just gets over the blue line. It's going to be called off sides here. Doesn't seem to be any repercussion of that from the U.S. Back to his own bench skates Leon Draisaitl. Would not be shocked either if Germany, if they start to sit some of their better players here late as the game gets into the later stages. They'll have a quarterfinals game to play against a good team, I'm sure. Face-off between Brock Nelson and Szymanski, won by Szymanski. Michelson for Germany. Now this one is going to be off a stick and into the crowd behind the timekeepers area. The momentum and flow of this game really, sucked out of the building here because of these whistles, man. I'll tell you, the flow of the game starting to slow down a little bit here. To the comment section we go here. Shout out Lance33, another long-time viewer and subscriber here on the channel. Coming here on a Sunday. Glad to have you here, Lance, covering Team USA Hockey up 5-1 right now in the third period over Team Germany. 35-22. The shots on goal. 7 minutes now left to play in the hockey game. The U.S. going to find themselves, if they're able to hold on to this lead, getting the 2nd seed in the tournament and the quarterfinals bye, along with Canada, Slovakia, and Finland. Now in comes Wisman here. His shot hit the side of the net beside the post of Hellebuck. Puck comes back in front again, and Hellebuck is able to find it there. And is he shaking up here? No, he's just grabbing the puck. Ooh, the angle they just showed there of Connor Hellebuck, they had the in-net cam on. I didn't think the puck was right there where Hellebuck was. I thought it, skirted over to the right a little bit, but Hellebuck was just picking it up. Didn't know if he was picking it up or keeling over in some discomfort, but appears to be all right. Face-off now will be to the right of the Winnipeg Jet Vezina winning goaltender. Vinny Trocheck of the New York Rangers on the draw against Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators. Face-off, it's going to be a draw, but it's picked up by Austin Matthews. Matthews, dump in here for Matt Boldy. Starting to see But the line combinations they're throwing out there, a Mike Sullivan specialty. Late in the game, defensive zone draws especially, you want two centermen out there. He just a moment ago had a shift with, I believe, Jack Eichel and Dylan Larkin. Now he has Matthews out there with Trocheck. 6:30 left to go in the third. See Jake Sanderson out there, 2 assists in the tournament. Matthews taking the draw, wins it, back to Sanderson. It's thumped in. Moritz Mueller trying to play it back to his D partner, Gawonki. And now Tim Stützle with it. The U.S. forecheck, not really having the Germans have too many clean breakouts here today, which is something you like to see. Orensky back out there with Sanderson. Sanderson pump faking the pass to the neutral zone. Now gives it, and it's Matthews to Gensel, but it's going to be offsides here. We've had maybe 6 or 7 whistles in the last minute 30 of third period clock time. Really starting to drain the energy out of this game. These stoppages here. Stützle and Peterka, they will head off here for Germany. Resume and play here. Charlie McAvoy, the dump in. Alexander L back to play it for Germany. Comes up high. Knocked back deep again by Dylan Larkin. Tage Thompson comes out of the corner. His shot goes off of a stick and over the net. Now Charlie McAvoy trying to get a shot. He's hit hard and taken down to the ice by Tobias Reeder. Picked off again in the neutral zone. Clayton Keller to Tage Thompson. Thompson shot on goal. Not all that much on it. It's going to be covered by Franzreb and frozen for a whistle. So that now will take us to what will hopefully be the final stoppage here in this third period. There may be one more, but 6:19 left to go here in the third period. Well, maybe a little bit less than that here. Goals in the game. 5-1. Team USA started with Zach Werenski, an assist from Austin Matthews. Matthews then got on the board by himself with assists to Matthew Tkachuk and Quinn Hughes. Brock Faber, he scored a crazy goal that went off the high stick of Jack Eichel and then off the glove of the goaltender and in, assisted by both Tkachuk brothers. Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres, outstanding start to the tournament for him. He got his first goal of the game with Dylan Larkin and Jake Sanderson on the assist. Austin Matthews working on a 3-point game right now. Got another goal. Sanderson and Hannah Finley assists, and then Tim Stützle, the latest goal, erasing that goose egg for Germany, making it 5-1. His goal assisted by J.J. Peterka. Stützle's fourth goal of the tournament. Peterka, his third assist of the tournament. Also, if you guys are interested in women's hockey as well, there's going to be an outstanding game played tomorrow morning, 10:40, between the U.S. and Sweden in the semifinals. The women's U.S. hockey team, my goodness, do they look legit, like they are going to cruise to the gold medal, just like how Canada looks right now for the men's division. Drive here from the point, off the face-off from Charlie McAvoy went wide. Clayton Keller getting a late game shift here, up high to Quinn Hughes. Hughes walking the line, trying to find a shooting lane to open up. Didn't work. From the corner now, thrown up high. Hughes again. Hughes working down to the corner now. Goes behind the net. Hughes centering pass intended for Larkin, didn't connect. Clayton Keller now in the corner. Back to Quinn Hughes. Keller. Sauce pass over. Charlie McAvoy. Tage Thompson on the ice. Thompson backhand, back behind the net. Keller fighting through a check to get it to Larkin. Larkin gets cross-checked down to the ice by Nico Sturm, but the U.S. maintains possession. Thompson back to his line mate Larkin. Larkin on the backhand here gets one softly on goal. Had a man all over him. It's stopped by Franzreb for the whistle. Lots of superstars on this Team USA roster. They do that camera shot where they go down the bench once again. If you're Mike Sullivan, seeing the success and cohesiveness you had with your team in this game, do you make any changes for the first quarterfinal game? I would not, be quite honest with you. Their lone substitution in, aside from the goaltenders today, Keller in for Connor. I've liked bits and pieces of what I've seen from Clayton Keller here today. Also, don't mean to be that guy here, but Kyle Connor have some bewilderment about why he was on Team USA's roster in the first place. Sullivan benched him for the championship game of the Four Nations face-off. So no idea why Connor was then brought back here for Team USA. I thought that was a spot kind of wasted for a coach-player dynamic. You could have had a Jason Robertson or a Cole Caulfield in that spot instead. Another stoppage here after Germany had a shot, missed the net, and looks like we got a penalty here. That's what stopped play. It's like Matthew Tkachuk is going to get an interference call here on Leon Draisaitl. His stick got all wrapped around Draisaitl. Or maybe Matthew trying to throw the German superstar off his game. So Germany, a late game power play here. It's going to come with 4:26 left to go in the third. Draisaitl on the draw here with Trocheck, and Trocheck, after a hard-fought draw, wins it. Cleared all the way down the ice by the U.S. Seider, again, going to be running point man on this German power play like he does with the Detroit Red Wings. Here comes Tim Stützle flying up the ice. Stützle over the blue line, kicks it to himself in the corner. Played around, but Jacob Slavin picks it off on the attempt to get it back to his D-man. Cleared again by the U.S. And if it weren't for, Quinn Hughes just being such a dynamic offensive player and Charlie McAvoy being one of those heart and soul players for this U.S. Olympic team, make no mistake, Jake Slavin, he could easily be argued for the top overall defenseman, or defensive defenseman at least, on this Team USA roster. Really shined in the Four Nations face-off a year ago. Charlie McAvoy, another clear attempt for the U.S., goes all the way around the glass and down the ice. No chances of getting set up for the German power play here. Moritz Seider plays it to Tim Stützle again. Stützle walking across the center red line here. Now gives it to Dominic Cahoon. Peterka trying to feed someone. His D-man Weissman picks him up. Now Weissman up high. His shot. It's going to be blockered away from Connor Hellebuck and out of play. Clock stops with 2:57 left in the game. 31 seconds remaining here in this German power play. JT Miller blocking a shot that last shift as well. Gets a few pats on the helmet from players and coaches alike. Clayton Keller and Miller having a laugh on the bench. It's got to be a little bit refreshing for JT Miller, Pittsburgh native, not having the best year with the loathsome New York Rangers, getting tons of criticism for him being the captain and not showing all that much for the team. But this U.S. Olympics may be rejuvenating him a little bit, actually playing for something meaningful. 5 seconds left on the Germany power play. They have yet to enter the zone here since we resumed play. Now Brock Nelson, he almost had a breakaway there, but I think Tage Thompson put it in his feet. Out of the box comes Matthew Tkachuk. I think he goes to the bench for a change. Franz Reb behind his own net. Couldn't stop the puck. Matt Boldy now spins one to the front, picked off there by Wisman. Nobody there for the U.S. anyways. There's a breakout for Lucas Reichel. Now is going to be intercepted at the U.S. blue line. Matt Boldy, and Boldy to Matthews. And Austin Matthews, Captain America, that close to a hat trick here in the Olympics. That play a moment ago kept in by Werenski, nearly offsides, but they continue play right now. Here with a burst of speed comes Nico Sturm, tried to go to the backhand, poked away by Matthews on the back check. Excellent play by the captain. Shot from the point here goes off of a body into the glass in the corner. Werenski now chipping it out to center. Moritz Mueller with it in his own zone. Pass here, fresh off the bench. It's Cobble. Cobble now. Centering pass intercepted by Matt Boldy. 1:15 left to go in the hockey game now. It's going to be an icing here on the U.S. A breakout pass from one of the D-man. No, it's not going to be an icing. Must have been a touched up or playable by a German player on the way by. Carter Hellebuck stops the puck behind his own net. JT Miller, bank pass off the boards here, racing after it. Dylan Larkin, and Franzreb out of his crease to play that one away. Larkin can fly, and he just takes an absolute horrendous hit. And hopefully he is all right getting up. Dylan Larkin just took a massive hit from someone back behind the play. Puckett's going to come into the U.S. zone here. Maybe one of the Kachuk brothers seeing that wants a shift to end this game. Sanderson to Quinn Hughes. Hughes spinning away. He's going to take it back to his own goal line here. The U.S. may be playing some keep away here. Up ice. Dumped in by Vinny Trocheck. Tage Thompson hard on the forecheck. Hits on Sider. Sider now behind his own net. To Weissman. 10 seconds left. Weissman can't get it out of the zone. Kept in by Clayton Keller for the moment. Sitting on it at the top of his own zone is Tim Stutzel. Jacob Slavin takes it back to the D-man Brock Faber. 2 seconds and 1. And the United States 3-0 in the preliminary round. They wrap it up with a 5-1 victory over Germany. There's your final score, ladies and gentlemen. 5-1, Team USA. A very pleasing performance. Nice bounce back after what they had to show yesterday against Denmark. They take all 9 points and all 3 wins in the preliminary round. They now second overall in the tournament. They will take the number 2 seed behind Canada. They get a quarterfinals bye along with Canada, or a quarterfinals play-in bye, just like Canada, Slovakia, and Finland. Nice game for the United States here today. Again, still waiting for them to put together that one overall just flat-out dominating, not even close from start to finish game. This one was close. The Latvian game, that was close as well. Not sure if the U.S. is going to have any of that type of game for the rest of the tournament. Things are going to get harder from here on out with the group stages over. But a positive way to end the preliminary rounds for Team USA. 5-1 win. Austin Matthews, Captain America. Lots of people being a little critical of him getting the C. He showed some leadership qualities in this one, leading the way with at least 3 points. Back to the comment section here. We are going to seriously compete with Canada. Better play with more urgency. Find that extra pep in our play. You need to play every minute of every shift like it is the last shift of the gold medal game. Indeed. I mean, the U.S., they showed spurts of that, handful of occasions in this game. They just absolutely hemmed Germany in their zone. And it wasn't even close. Germany, I don't think they had more than 2 clean breakouts for the entire game here today. So, the U.S., they need to show more urgency like that. I think naturally will come with it now being a win-or-go-home type of tournament from here on out. So let's see if they can kick it into another gear here. Some of the lines clicking on all cylinders at points in that game. Want to see them fully come into form as they move forward here in this tournament. Last few comments here. Freight Train, all they needed was 2 more goals per game. Yeah, all they needed was 2 more goals per game to catch Canada. I mean, they didn't play their best game against Denmark. They won 6-3 in that one. And then the Latvian game to start the tournament, they had 2 goals taken away in the first period. So they technically, could have used used just the 2 goals if the officiating wasn't the way it was in that first game here. That is just the coach in me. You of all people know that. I do know. I've heard that quite a few times growing up in my hockey career. Makes me, just put the head down, listen in the locker room. Yeah, we got it. Go out there and run through someone first shift legally controlled chaos there. So yeah, Coach, I read those comments in your voice. Don't get that twisted there. So that's going to do it tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on the channel. And that does it for a fun weekend covering Team USA hockey. Some good, some bad to take away from it. But now all that matters is just finding a way to win from here on out. Styles points, those are getting thrown out the window. Now it's all about just doing whatever it takes to advance and move on, as it now becomes win or go home from here on out. On your way out, to the 8 of you in here right now, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. We'll be back here tomorrow night for some normal Steel City Sports Report business, going over all the news from the weekend that relates to the Pittsburgh Pirates, Steelers, and Penguins. It's mainly going to be Pirates again, some action going on. It's pitchers and catchers, spring training thus far, and the first official full squad workout of spring training will be tomorrow. We have tons to talk about, including a very notable Pirates alum making a return to spring training. Lots of fun to talk about with that. Some more to talk about with the Steelers a little bit, and then mainly our Penguins talk will center around what went down in these Olympics. So on your way out, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, turn on notifications, like, share, leave a comment in the comments section after the fact. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for a new episode of the Steel City Sports Report and for Olympic coverage whenever the Team USA plays again. We'll be here covering that as well. Have a good rest of your Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the Olympic action. See you back here tomorrow. Peace. Team USA winning, going 3-0 in the preliminary round.